Hey everyone, welcome to episode number 2 of Off Topic with Darren Wilson. My name is Darren and I will be your host. On this episode, I'll be hanging out with Doug Jeffery. Doug is a multifaceted individual. He's an entrepreneur, a model, an actor, and he currently runs his own construction company that specializes in building sets for movies, TV, commercials, and even popular YouTubers now. We chat about his time with the Chippendales and after a 20-year hiatus from the modeling and acting biz, what it's like to be getting back into the biz. Thanks for listening and enjoy. Doug?
Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for coming on the show.
Oh, thanks for having me.
And thanks for inviting me in your lovely home.
Our pleasure.
We're going to get a little insight and knowledge from him as far as getting back into the industry. Doug goes way back, not too far back, not to the silent era, but
Almost, though.
He goes back to the 80s and the Chippendales. Remember the Chippendales, ladies? Sorry to date you a little bit there, but
No, that's okay.
that was a classic time.
Yeah, it's funny to look at it now. I mean, it's just, it really does bring back fond memories. And, you know, you just go into the vault of your brain and you go, wow, what an amazing experience to travel the world. And just, you know, it was, and, you know, they're part of our culture now, when you really think about it. And they're still going after all these years.
Oh, are they? I did not know that.
Yeah, they have they perform in Las Vegas, and I still believe they travel all over.
Okay.
So,
Okay. And you were a spokesperson?
I was
for-
the MC. I was the
Okay.
host of the show. You know, all the different acts I come out and introduce, and just kind of get the crowd fired up, and you know, take them through their lovely journey of
Journey.
Ladies' Night Out.
Is that what we're calling it? A journey?
A journey, an experience. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. As I said, traveled the world and did it in a few different languages, and one of those things I'll never forget, actually.
Oh, I can imagine. And were you actually a Chippendale?
Yeah. It was how it was set up. There was 5 leads, and then there was 5 to 6 professional dancers. So they put, you know, there was production numbers. So I would dance in the production numbers, and then you know, each guy would come out and have their own little solo thing. And so it was, yeah, the first time I did it, we were the opening act in Atlantic City for Elkie Summers in the Claridge Casino Hotel. That was kind of the beginning of, you know, taking it from just the club in New York and the club in Los Angeles, and realizing that it was viable to, you know, travel throughout the U.S. and, you know, all over the world.
And it was a legitimate gig.
Oh, yeah. 5,000 to 10,000 people a night.
So what did it take to become a Chippendale and become the MC of the show?
It's funny. I was actually working in Atlantic City dealing cards at the Playboy Hotel Casino. And, you know, it was kind of the beginning of me wanting to get into the industry. So I was doing print work there. I'd do all the, you know, the adverts for the casinos and what have you. And my goal was to, you know, move to New York. So 2-3 days a week, I'd get on the bus and go to New York and, you know, grab an audition, try and find an agent. And I just thought it would be a great job. So, you know, it took me 5 or 6 times to, you know, I'd, you know, put in my resume and try to get hired. They weren't hiring. And, you know, persistency is really the key to success. You just never give up. And they were expanding. They were doing a club in Philadelphia. So there was a local contest to go and try and audition. And, you know, Chippendales is looking for the new crop. So I went and I auditioned, and it was in Pulsations in Philadelphia, and I was chosen. Then from there, I became a host, became a waiter, kind of climbed the ranks, and you know, finally they were looking to do one of the first touring shows in Atlantic City, and the choreographer was looking for an MC. So I was able to get his attention and audition for him. And, it started there and all over the U.S. and then South Africa, Australia, all through Canada. It was just one after the other. Feel very blessed.
That's amazing. I didn't realize you got to travel that much with him.
Yeah. 3-4 months at a crack. And, you come back home, go, okay, made some money. Now I'm going to just go out there and audition. And we all know how that works.
Yeah.
So.
What a wonderful process auditioning is.
Oh, yeah. It's one of the things and it's so different when you actually get the job, when you really think about it. You're your own worst enemy. All those, little voices run into your head. So it's, if you can master that, you can pretty much do anything. Because when you really think about it, how many people, it's going on a job interview, 4, 5, 6 maybe in their lifetime, depending on what you do.
Right.
But auditioning, it's 2, 3, could be every single day.
Yeah, you could have as many as 2 or 3 a day and, getting into double digits every week.
Yeah. And it's a full-time job, just auditioning.
Just auditioning.
Yeah. Especially living in Los Angeles with traffic, too. It's daunting.
Traffic. LA traffic.
Yeah.
Luckily, we're going to have a couple days off here because we are recording this the day before Thanksgiving, everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving to
yes,
everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving.
You have a wonderful Thanksgiving with your loved ones and your family.
Absolutely. So how long were you at Chippendale?
Oh, wow.
Or involved with the show?
For, 6, 7 years, I think.
That's a great run.
Yeah, and it was, I don't know if you're familiar with the Chippendales murders. There was several movies and, different reenactments created. The owner of Chippendales, Steve Banerjee, the creator, he teamed up with Nick DeNoia, who was the choreographer. And, started out great, and those guys started to butt heads and got to the point where they wouldn't even speak. And the way the deal was set up, Steve Banerjee owned the clubs, and DeNoia had the touring rights, which in the beginning, touring these guys was kind of unheard of. And then clubs started to fizzle out, and as I said, those guys just didn't really like each other. And then all of a sudden, one day, somebody goes into Nick DeNoia's office and puts a bolt in his head, kills him.
No kidding.
Yeah, then several years later, his estate sold the rights to Steve Banerjee. So all of a sudden, he's on top of the world. He's got the clubs, the tours all over, doing extremely well. Then when we had gone to Australia, we were scheduled to be there for, I think, 3 weeks. And then we ended up staying almost 3 months because we were received so incredibly well. And then the promoter that brought us to Australia was a big rock and roll promoter. He decided to kind of create his own group. Once again, Steve Banerjee, I guess, didn't really play well with others, so he created his own group. So I was brought in with the new group that he created, and then lo and behold, supposedly Banerjee puts a hit on the promoter. It was myself and one of the other gentlemen from the original Chippendales group. And I guess these guys bailed at the last minute. They turned themselves in. So myself and Cass were talking about this, I don't know, a month or so ago. It's like I left. I was in London, and I was just, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. But as we start to look at all the programs and all the information that's out there about this, potentially there could have been a hit put on me. Because I left, I abandoned Chippendales and went to the other group. So it's kind of funny that
you made it out good.
I made it
clean.
out alive, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then they reopened once they found out about what had happened with what what Banerjee did with the attempted hit. They reopened the DeNoia case, and then he was found guilty of that. And then he was in jail for a very short period of time. Then he ended up hanging himself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Interesting part of pop culture of my
Yeah.
crazy life that I've lived.
Well, this sounds like it could be a whole podcast series in its own.
Yeah. Yeah. I think they're actually doing a new movie now, too, about it. There's been several that have been done already, so.
Well, I've got the inside track.
Yep.
I've got the inside scoop. Okay, so you mentioned that you've did a lot of print work as well.
Yeah, that's when I kind of started out, just, doing the whole modeling thing. And, that's kind of the, beginning stages of getting your feet wet, so to speak. So
I've done a little bit, very little, but it is its own beast in itself, if you will. So how long did you do modeling, and what are some of your favorite jobs?
I'm still doing it now, actually. I mean, I'm a whole new kind of category now that I have gray hair and I'm an older gentleman, as I would say.
Distinguished.
Distinguished.
That's a better word.
Yeah. I mean, I guess when 18, 19 years old, went through the whole process of, trying to get the right photographs. And, once again, it really comes down to if you want something, it's just the determination and the persistency that it takes. I shot probably a dozen times before I got photographs that actually kind of worked, and I was into the whole weightlifting, get big, get big, get big, and then that really didn't work. So kind of trimmed myself down, leaned out a little bit, and, a lot of, lifestyle stuff from, as I said, the casinos to, I was in Time magazine. I was on the cover. I mean, just it was kind of a fitness guy crossover.
Okay.
So I had a cover of a fitness magazine, and just various things that
So you've done some pretty legitimate stuff, and not just the JCPenney underwear catalog stuff.
which they pay really well too. They're the ones you want. You want the account.
Right.
The running joke is I was doing Harlequin Romance would kind of hire me from time to time, and I would pass Fabio in the office. He's leaving, I'm coming in, so it was kind of funny.
That's an iconic time of life and in history.
It really was. I mean, if you look at it now, we touched on it earlier. It's like life has really changed. I mean, 80s, 90s, life was simple. In our generation, this generation is just it's just different. It's not as pure. It's not as real. Everything is. How quickly can you get it? It's the immediacy of just life.
And text me. Don't call me. Text me.
Yeah. It's funny. You walk into a restaurant, people don't speak. Everyone's glued to their phone.
Right.
Me including. So it's just, it's a different time.
Okay, so let's fast forward a little bit. And I heard that you did leave the industry for a while.
Yes, I did. It was one of those things. It was a love-hate relationship. I just, we all know you've been around, and you come so close. It's down to you and somebody else, a part that could change your life, and all of a sudden it goes left. If it would have gone right, you could have a career. And I just really got frustrated, and it was just I just had a chip on my shoulder. I wouldn't go to auditions when I would show up. I realized it was something that I loved and I had so much passion for that I needed to step back. And my mom was diagnosed with cancer, so I was dealing with that. So I just said, I just made that conscious decision to step away.
I'm sorry to hear about your mom.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. She taught me a great lesson. Dealing with her, nothing else really mattered. It was just true purpose in your life, that you have something that is so valuable and dear to you that it was just doing everything in my power to give her whatever she needed for whatever short time was left. So,
right.
And she taught me that, you fight for what you believe in, and it's persistency, consistency. Just don't give up.
Exactly.
So, but as I said, it's just coming back into it now after all those years. You learn, you grow as a person, as an actor. You just have so much more to offer in life.
Right.
That look in your eye is you've been beat down, you get up. There's a strength that I probably didn't have when I started, when I was a kid.
Yeah, you're out there living your life. You're building your repertoire, your skill set of what to pull with,
Yeah,
pull
life
from.
experience. You got
Right.
more life experience under your belt. So when you have to, you have the opportunity to tap into those, those reserves, you're so much fuller.
Hmm. So, what did you do when you left the industry? How did you make your living?
Uh, I was I was building furniture. It was kind of a hobby of mine. I just, I'd go in my garage and just sit there for, 20 hours and not eat and just create this cool piece of furniture that I had in my brain. A friend of a friend was working a film, and he goes, "Hey, you want to come help me?" It's like, "Sure." So I gave him a hand on that film. Then from there, I got into the business. I was the construction coordinator for the Man Show, Crank Yankers, and when I was 41 years old, I'm that habitual entrepreneur anyway, and opportunity that, hey, I'm going to do my own thing. I can do this. So I created 41 sets, I was 41 years old, and it seemed like a good name at the time, which now it's going on 16, 17 years. So
Shoot, congratulations.
yeah, we do everything, commercials to sitcoms to reality shows to, you name it. We kind of established ourselves in a crazy market, and I feel very blessed that I still have that creative outlet, so to speak.
Exactly. Yeah, there's nothing like woodworking. It's a satisfying
Yeah.
feeling when you finish a project and
Yeah, you step back, you look at it, and yeah. Not that I do that anymore. I just organize people, but
time and people management is a skill set all in
yes,
itself.
it is.
So you're still doing that, and you're trying to get back into the industry.
Yeah, a couple years ago, through the help of Candace, it was always something I always knew I'd come back. Once it's in your blood, it's kind of hard to give up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And a couple years ago, I made the push, and when I was doing it was black and white headshots. There's
Right.
no actors access. There's no all those things. It was like navigating that. Still today, it's like mind-boggling. So, I've been lucky enough. I worked, several times already, and I do need to get back into a class just to, really hone the skills again of
Right.
what it is. And as we were talking earlier about auditioning, you got to get out of your own way and just trust that it's there. So,
Right. Be prepared. Do the audition. Nail it to your best of your ability, and then
yeah,
walk away from it.
yeah, yeah. So it's it's like going to the gym. Go to the gym every single day. Your body gets stronger. Everything, you're working on it, and being an actor, I think everyone watches these people and they're like, oh my God, that was amazing. They make it look so easy,
Mm-hmm.
but being natural, it's not as easy as you think it would be.
It's time consuming. Not so much time consuming if you love what you're doing, but you have to do it.
Oh, you have to love it.
Repetition is
yeah. If you don't love this, you'll never survive.
right. So let's say you come across somebody that is of our age range, and they're ending a career or moving on from a career that they've spent most of their life doing and thinking about getting into the acting or modeling business, and they're questioning themselves. They have a bunch of self-doubt that's tearing them up. What would your thoughts or advice be to them?
It's one of those things. Getting into this industry really makes you take a look at yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you look in the mirror because you are your product. You're trying to sell your product, and you really have to believe in your product. If you don't believe in yourself, no one else is going to hire you.
Right.
So in a way, it really makes you a stronger, better person. And you have to be willing to fail. Anybody that comes in there that is not willing to fail or is not really going to take the steps to really try and understand it is a business, and you are your product that you're selling. So going through from how you look to how you speak to across the board. So it's one of those things. It's almost cathartic in a sense that you will discover so much about who you are by just putting yourself out there and failing. You keep failing, and then, as long as you are strong enough not to give up, you will become a better person. It's a journey.
Right. And as far as just getting up in the morning, you have to be prepared to live that life and, like you said, sell yourself because you are your product.
Yeah, and it's from working out, eating right, doing all the necessary things to become the best you can be, because you are competing with people from all over the world. And what makes one person climb the ladder versus the other person that stays or goes backwards?
Right.
It's what's in the individual. It's that belief in a higher power, belief in yourself that you deserve it.
Definitely a belief in yourself as well.
That you deserve to, achieve what you want.
So there really are no age restrictions.
Oh no, especially as it's one of those things. Whether if you're changing careers or you're retiring and you just want to get out there and try it. I mean, look at commercials. So many different flavors when you turn on the TV from, it's not just the younger generation, it's the baby boomers. So it's endless of, the dad, the grandfather. It's amazing. And literally, it's fascinating to me of when you watch these commercials, what is it that person has that got them to that step?
Right, that makes
what
them...
is that? What is it?
Yeah, that's the challenge and the journey of figuring out what that is in general and in yourself. But don't pressure yourself, I guess, into thinking that you don't have it, because there's roles for everybody.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and it's really kind of understanding what type you are and where you fit in, and trying to really bring that out in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I was a leading man way back when. I'm I don't know if I'm a leading man. I'm like older now with gray hair, and so obviously
well, I still think you're a leading man. You just have to have a stunt double now.
Yeah. So it's senator or congressman or governor. I'm like, yeah, I wanted to be the guy shooting the gun and kissing the girl. It's, that was fun back then.
Shh, Candace didn't hear that.
It's funny. I ran into a dear friend of mine. He's a production designer. Just got back from Toronto, and I guess he's working on Spielberg's new series or whatever. And I haven't seen him in years. And he stopped in my office, and just reminiscing of, we go back like 25 years. He was doing props when I was doing a movie, and then, we became friends, and he was working for Roger Corman. I stepped in to give him a hand. It's just like, you look back of all those different lives and different people, and, it was, a kind of a walk down memory lane, so to speak, that you forget. Oh yeah, I did that. Oh yeah. So it's just kind of, it's nice to realize where you came from, but always look forward.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But you can also pull from some of those experiences and memories and use them now. And
yeah.
So what are you working on now? Do you have anything coming up? Any auditions, movies, commercials?
My business is kind of taking priority right now. We're I've been in the same spot for almost 20 years, and the studio where my office is was sold. So we have to move, and so it's kind of taking a lot of my time. We're working on a Papa John's commercial right now that goes in Monday. So I kind of took a little bit of a break because a lot of times the auditions are last minute and
Right.
couldn't make them. I still have people, I auditioned probably a month ago and didn't get the role. Then the casting director reached out and offered me another role, which unfortunately I couldn't make it. So at least there are people still thinking about me,
Right.
which, you're like, okay, you still got it. You still got that little something, that little twinkle in your eye that when you walk into a room, well, what's that guy got? I want that. So, yeah, as I said, it's not where you start, it's where you finish. So as long as you're in the game, whatever age, as long as you're out there swinging, you might strike out 1,000 times. But as long as you got that bat, you're going to hit that ball eventually.
You're going to connect with
you
it at least
play
once.
the game.
Yeah, you got to be in it to win it.
Yep, you got to be in it. As long as you're in it, might not, I wanted it when I was, 17 years old. Now I'm 56. Who's saying that I can't? It might be 57, might be 60.
Right.
But I might one day, what you envision and what you want, it actually might happen as long as I'm willing to put myself out there and try.
Right, and you still have the determination to do it.
Yeah, failure is just part of it.
So where can people get a hold of you or, see some of your stuff, like your IMDb page or Instagram?
Yeah, IMDb, I have a website. It's DouglasJeffrey.com. Facebook, I'm out there, even though I'm not that well versed in social media, but not my generation, but that's...
Well, I'll put all the links in the show notes, and so you can, so everybody can check them out and get a hold of you. And how about your construction business?
41sets.com.
Okay.
Yeah, go check it out. We've done a lot of really kind of fun, amazing things that really kind of proud of. And once again, it's still that creative juices wherever it might be, whether if it's in front of a camera or behind it building the set. So it's I'm destined to use that creative energy that needs to come out some way.
And sometimes it's fun to be behind the scenes and get to view the whole process.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, how many people it really takes. People, the average person goes, "Oh, that was nice. It was an hour show," but I mean, the hundreds and hundreds of people. I mean, you've been in the business. So you look around and you're like, what do all these people do?
Yeah, half an hour episode typically takes 5 days to shoot.
Yeah, it's just amazing.
But there's a lot of people involved to get that done.
Yeah.
And they're all outstanding at their jobs.
Yep.
And
you're in this business because you love it.
Yep.
Whatever part of this is a business you seek because you want to be that. It's just that creativity that's got to ooze from your pores and find a way to do something with it.
There's nothing like it.
Nope.
Well, thank you, Doug.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
I appreciate you coming on the show. I hope you guys all enjoyed our little chit chat, our little hangout session here, and definitely, reach out to Doug if you have any auditions you think you'll be right for something, and if you need a set built or even consulting to have a project built, give him a call. He'll help you out.
Most definitely. Thank you. Pleasure. Once again, happy Thanksgiving.
Yes, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Be safe.
Manja.
Eat it all. Otherwise, we're coming over to finish the leftovers.
So,
all right. Until next time.
Thanks so much.
Bye. Thank you again for listening, and I hope you enjoyed the show. To hear future episodes as soon as they come out, please subscribe in iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts. A special thanks to Mike Roy and his band Go Casual for providing the music. To hear more songs from their new album, All the Old Ghosts, please click on their link in the show notes or find them on SoundCloud or Facebook. Until next time, I'm Darren Wilson. Talk to you soon.